immediately just have the music. Let me skip that. Alright, game capture. I'm gonna have to keep swapping this back and forth. That's gonna be annoying. There we go. Boyo! Hi, Hazu, how's it going? Alrighty. Back to the library. Very exciting. Yeah, not a new game. Continue. Not starting over from scratch. Not that we're that far in, but still. Alrighty. You like the music? Very jazzy. Okay. What are we doing? Okay, we had a new invitation to do, right, because we had to go and do Book of Brotherhood. Oh, I forgot to look for the mod. I'll do that after the stream. Let me make a reminder for myself. You know, can art is like some unimportant small news in newspaper, but your French brain is like duck. It's probably from the same word for some reason. I don't know why ducks would be relevant here, but clearly they must be for some reason. I don't know. Words are weird. Doesn't help that English randomly borrows a lot of French words but doesn't use them properly. Okay. Mystery invitation. You're very confused by when you started playing the game, understandable. Somewhere in the back streets, wow. Hook Fixer McCullen. My whole body's still aching from our last job. It's lasting longer than I thought. Still, yesterday was wild, wasn't it? Yep, the new weapon you got from the workshop was a real killer, that's for sure. You don't say. You got way too excited with it and things spiraled out of control. We killed 20 more people than planned, thanks to you. Dan has a well-produced ID and Libus for some reason. I guess someone in the team really liked the design. That is something I have to say that I like about this game so far, is that these guys are just like generic enemies pretty much to be killed to progress through the game, and yet they all have like unique designs, and that's pretty cool. That's a lot of character art that other games wouldn't have bothered to make, but they did, and that's cool. This was a mistake on our part, we couldn't even get paid for the extra kills. Come on, don't be such a killjoy. You're the one who went on the biggest rampage in the end. Maga's muscles are all sore because he had to try hard to calm you down. Well, I said I'm sorry about that. No need to sweat it. Now you guys view things too. Hate to admit it, but Taeyeon has a point. We all should try to cool down our temper a little. Still generic enemies for some factions, but yeah, there's a lot of named characters with their own style. Yeah, exactly. I'm not saying it's all the characters, but like, there's a lot of them. Like, if they'd just been like, oh yeah, here's 3 generic fixer models. This is what you're up against this chapter. I'd be like, okay, that makes sense. As long as we're working as fixers, it's not good to raise more trouble than necessary. We're members of a killer syndicate, now registered to an office and doing fixer work. Life really is full of surprises, isn't it? This office is a weird one too. Can't believe people like us are accepted. Nor what the boss said. There's so many offices and fixers these days, so standing up for the others is the best way to survive in this industry. Our outfits are also quite radical compared to what other offices have. That's why it's filled with maniacs like us. All we gotta do is kill the targets in the most gruesome way possible and hang their bodies out in the open. No wonder everyone's excited to join. It's no different from what we've always been doing. First, I thought it was crazy that an office would do this kind of work. But I guess threatening targets and sending them a warning makes enough sense. Seems to be working well, too. We've only been getting requests from no-name syndicates and poor folk. This office is a long way to go. It does feel more like a pack of rats than a proper office. Got a message from the boss. Says we should drop by to get new work. Even rascals like those can join offices these days, huh? Whole market's a red ocean. Everyone wants to be a fixer. And that doesn't count as raking yourself over the coals, because... Listen, I may not look like it, but I used to be hot stuff, you know? And then things happened and I fell to rock bottom. So what do you do for a living? And all kinds of stuff, really. Good things within my ability. Is that so? That means you didn't get to do any proper work, then. Wow, we really did teleport in the blink of an eye. Is this one of those singularities? Lots of surprises these days. Greetings, dear guests. Hi there. What the? She's pretty damn sturdy. How much did you spend on that bod? There's no need to needlessly exhaust yourself, dear guest. You'll need to rampage with all you have soon enough. I don't like your soft tone. You're not human, are you? Ooh, look at her face now. Guess she really isn't. Yeah, another surprise. It's so rare to meet a sapient being that isn't human in the city. I know, right? I get a ton of cash out of this. Minor thing, but I like how their answer to, like, how do we fit all the character portraits on screen is just, we're just gonna make them overlap. We're not gonna bother trying to avoid overlap. And we'll just highlight and bring to the front whichever one's talking. Which is honestly, I think, a good way to do it. I like that. It's like, just cram them all on screen and we'll just reorder them depending on who's talking. Still doing that in Limbus makes sense. It's like, it's such a... It feels like it is unprofessional, but at the same time it's not. And it's fine, actually, and it's a good idea. I don't know. Like, it works as a solution to the problem. It's just not something that most designers would think to do, because they would assume that it would be a problem. I don't know. I'm overthinking it. You find your book in this place. Who cares if it looks professional if it works? Exactly. For better or worse, that is definitely a vibe that I get from Project Moon, that they're pretty much like... They have a very, like, indie dev mindset when it comes to design. Despite the fact that they're now a mid-size-ish studio. Still on the smaller side, but... Saw Lobo Corpse code, yeah. Yeah, I mean, like, there's a lot of, like... hacks that are like, yeah, okay, that makes sense why that you've hacked this to do that. It probably could be a lot cleaner. It's not how I would have designed it, but it does work most of the time, so I get it. Yeah, then you have a lot of ego gifts that are not written properly, and it's like, okay. It looks dumb, but it works, exactly. Make it work, get it out the door. Alright, I feel like we geared people up after last time. If not, I guess we'll find out. I know we spent some time doing that. We'll just roll with it. A lot of you here should have passives that just don't work. Yeah. Because they have a lot of things that are like, we recalculate your stats based on this modifier. And then another ego gift applied to the same person will be like, okay, we recalculate your stats based on your base stats in this modifier. And so whichever one gets applied first just gets ignored because the second one overrides it. So they don't stack, they just are constantly overriding or messing each other up. And it's a whole mess. They do have systems for combining buffs, it's just they didn't write most of them to use it properly. So, very fun. It's a hard problem to solve though, so I get it. Alright, I guess we'll try Malkuth and Ria's team first. See how it goes. Eventually we'll get to the point where we can actually like strategize based on the enemy team composition, I imagine, but I don't have that good of a grasp of the game yet. I'm gonna keep quick mode turned off for now just because I feel like I like visually seeing what happens. Hopefully I get to the point where I don't need that anymore. Alright. So they don't have cards set yet, we're still in, card picking phase? Okay. Doesn't really matter for now, but each floor ends up having its own set of gimmicks fueled by ego pages. That makes sense. They do have that system for a reason. Alright, so we can't see what the enemy is doing this turn. I guess we just go for it. Let's do some strong attacks. Can't see what they're doing because they're not doing anything for some reason. I see. That makes sense. I wasn't sure if there was just like something I missed, but no, they're just standing there. Cool. Free damage. You gonna fight back? No? Okay. I guess your stances are broken now. Weird. I guess freed fight. If there's a reason that isn't the AI doesn't have a card they can play, it'd be in the passives. Got it. I didn't check their passives. That probably would have been a smart thing to do. Okay. I guess. Their basic runs, their passive doesn't matter. Fair enough. This one looks like it's probably more difficult. Okay, now we're being attacked. That makes sense. Okay, so we got 2 people against 3. You're doing a small attack and recovering HP. You're doing moderate attack, moderate attack. Actually, all the same attack when you're dodging. Should be able to beat that. 1 to 4. Yeah, easily. For 1 light, inflict 1 paralysis on self next scene. You don't need to inflict self paralysis. 1 to 8 stab, anyone weak to piercing. These guys, sort of. Now let's try to take out McCullen. And then you can try to defend yourself against these 2 attacks, and then counterattack. And that is blunt. If you're weak to blunt, you're weak to blunt. Try that. Yeah, significantly better on the clash. We dodge, counterattack. We dodge again. Oh, we got hit still. Alright. Inflict 1 3 burn to the attack, you get a buff, 40% chance. Offensive dice, inflict 1 burn. Alright, they'll have a match light system. I don't actually have like duplicate cards, right? Because I've been mostly just picking different cards every time. So I don't... Does this still work? As we said, match light status on the pages we use. And then when you use them again, you get a buff. But nothing recycles the cards, and I only have 1 of each card in my decks currently. So I don't think this works. If I'm understanding it correctly. This one seems a little more straightforward. Pages just cycle back when they've all been drawn. Okay, that makes sense. Hopefully the combat doesn't last that long. I feel like we're still too early in the game for that. I'll just do the simple buff. Doesn't really matter. Malkuth, you get a buff. Alright. These guys are both about to be staggered, so we definitely want to take advantage of that. You're doing a basic attack, dodge. You're doing a heavy attack, so we want to deal with you. Not sure if they're put back in the pool as soon as they're used or if it takes a bit, but you can't run out of cards using your deck. Alright, fair enough. Okay. 1 to 6, 2 to 6. 3 to 7. Theoretically, I'd win the first combat clash, but that wouldn't help for the other attack. I think I just try to dodge this and then counterattack it. And then we can definitely go stun one of these people. So 1 to 4, we can beat that for sure. And this might just kill him outright. That's fine, free damage. Yep, staggered. Dead. Got hit, dodge a second one at least. Counterattack. Alright, I guess we'll do that. I don't think it's gonna come into play. But we'll show up when I like the next match. Find out. Forget you made a scary giant, yeah. I immediately saw sliders and I'm like, what if I max out the sliders? I use the biggest, scariest chainsaw sword I have. Okay, that is a lot of damage on that. Okay. You're almost done. We just need to beat you once. That is a 5 or 6. Ooh, that's high. Okay. 3 or 7 has a low chance to do that. 5 or 6 would be slightly below average on You Only Live Once. So if I understand correctly, we might be able to do that to beat the combat clash, and then we only need to do 1 point of shield break to stun them. I think that works. And then this person is gonna do a lot of damage, but there's nothing we can do about that. Let's just do a bunch of damage back. Nice, okay. That's what I wanted to see. Now they're stunned too. Ooh, this is clean. It's almost a perfect sweep. Okay, they're both broken, so we just wail on them. Easy fight, yeah. I struggled a lot more with the last one, from what I remember. You're dead. Are your emotions heightened here? 100% chance of a Book of Naoki. Makes sense. Doesn't matter at this point. These are best attacks. Take him out. There we go. So I guess I don't think we got any Hook Office cards unless I misremembered, so we might have to do that again. I guess we did from the first round. That's the generic runs. We got some new ego gifts. 1% chance to boost evade tower ice, 5% chance to boost pierce attack damage. So low. Okay. Are the name ones that I've given different generic books? I don't know. I'll have to check. As always, I could learn more about the office thanks to these guests. Don't get too bothered by what they said about you, alright? You're trying to console me? Maybe, maybe not. I don't really care if you're actually human or not, you see? That's refreshing to hear. It's been quite a while since I heard such words of comfort. From even one person, too. Well, we're in the age of humanity, after all. Age of humanity? What does that mean, exactly? Don't stare at me too hard now. I don't know all the details either. At some point, intelligent sapient beings that weren't human were actively driven out of the city into the outskirts. Not too sure why it took place. The Artificial Intelligence Ethics Amendment was introduced as part of that movement. It's already possible to create machines capable of feeling emotions and desires, actually. Those that are pretty much human, in other words. I guess that was the problem. Thanks to the AI Ethics Amendment, no machines could ever be made to resemble humans, including replacement bodies. There seems to have been a few exceptions. So as I said, I'm no human, I'm a machine, an artificial being. To be precise, I was designed using a human as a template. Only a fraction of her brain was used in my creation. So it's not even a human brain resting in a robotic body? Not at all. I'm purely a machine. What about that fraction of human brain you mentioned? It was only an electronic copy of the map of her brain. My body is entirely composed of mechanical components. I had a feeling. It looks like you've been living under a rock your whole life, seeing how you're oblivious to the workings of the world. Gotta be extra careful then, especially if you're planning to leave here someday. Apparently everyone gives Hakawa's Fixer Volume 1 for you. Should be good if you got the name ones. Nice. That's convenient. Don't have to replay anything. You're a sapient android with emotions and desires. Your existence is most likely a complete violation of the AI Ethics Amendment. Head's scarily good at spotting anomalies like you. Alright, in case you don't know, the head is basically a bunch of shady creeps that rule over the entire city. Though you probably won't ever get to face them. Anyways, this whole library is at a huge risk in the first place. Librarians over here also seem like they're humans, but not really human at the same time. Just as you say. I was designed to feel emotions, and I spent what felt like an eternity on a stage, repeatedly performing a play that never seemed to end. When I thought it was finally over, turns out it never really ended. Gotta say, whoever created you must have really been something else, too. Yep. I don't know what motivated them, but breaking the rules designated by the head itself takes more than just guts. I mean, you gotta be pretty stupid to go against the head, I would say. No one can escape the head's enforcement. They did all eventually die. The library will be safe. It has to be safe. It's like a birdcage. No one is free to enter, no one is free to leave. And with that dreamy speech you despise so much. What do you even mean by that? I will leave this place one day. Take revenge on all the things that made me into what I am, and earn true freedom. I don't care too much either way. That's that, and this is this. Let's see. This guy's Yasad from Floor 2, Patron Librarian of Technological Sciences. Hey there, name's Roland, Angela's servant. I'm Yasad, the Patron Librarian of the Floor of Technological Sciences. Yes, we just heard that. Is it just me, or is this a cold and piercing stare I'm sensing? It's kind of different from Angela's, I gotta say. That's that, and this is Roland's favorite phrase. It's a good one. Feels like a good, like Korean idiom transliterated into English. What now? Don't tell me. Are you one of those types that resort to violence when someone talks crap? Her necktie was loose. He's just a stickler for detail. Oh, thanks. Guess you're a nice fellow after all. Tell me, why do you comply with Angela's orders so meekly? Well, mostly because I have no choice but to help her. Now that I think about it, Malkuth didn't seem too fond of Angela either. Is it a trend to dislike her or something? You got your shard? Congratulations! That That was a rough grind. But you did it. Good job. Took so freaking long, yeah. Sorry, I can't help. I've been cheering you on, trying to. Yeah, that was rough. It's obvious that we wouldn't approve of her. Angela. She utterly crushed our hopes at the very last moment. Sounds complicated. Wasn't the first time you did that type of chart, but you didn't spend more than an hour on the others. So you just got really unlucky this time. That's rough. Why are you working for her as a librarian, then? That's part of the deal. A deal, huh? I guess the deal is also why most of the floors of the library are locked off and the librarians there are asleep. Boy, I am not a fan of convoluted stories, especially if it involves sentimental stuff. Anyway, but you and I are obliged to help Angela now, aren't we? That is true. Let's give it our best shot then. Put her there. What is the meaning of this? A handshake, duh. Never tried it before? You know, the I look forward to working with you kind? Come on, lighten up a little. We can't avoid it, we might as well enjoy it. I'm supposed to get you books like I do with Malkuth, right? Indeed. My role is to collect and sort books about the technological sciences of the city, specifically. It has become clear that we are both well aware of our occupations. Kindly take your leave now. Fine, fine. I was about to anyway. Alright, we have a new floor. You're now an urban myth. Very cool. You have the time to think about the tear at the end of the song before the setting of the sun. Any more reports on... Shoot. Okay, I can't read this. Any more reports on the distortion of the Hana Association or Zwei Sector 1? None, sir. They're all observing the situation for now. They did nominate a number of likely suspects, however. So far we have 2 urban plagues, Laundry of Dreams and Yesterday's Promise, and 1 urban legend, the Church of Gears. The investigation hasn't been going too well, is it? Out in the library, recently appointed urban myth, is also on the list of possible sources. So even the higher-ups are clueless, aren't they? Seeing as they're throwing out random guesses now. Starting to get used to sorting out books now. Tell me, why are you helping me so submissively? What? Or when you said you'd kill me if I don't cooperate? Because I sure do. I can't leave here by myself either. So yeah, I gotta help you because you've made it abundantly clear. This is the only way I survive, and I like surviving. You don't appear to be motivated by fear? Then quite a lot of people crawl along on the floor, stricken with fear and terror. Judging from my past observations, I doubt you're helping me simply because you're afraid of dying. What the hell were you doing in the past? To be honest, I have a few things I want to know about this place too. Such as? You said you want to get the one perfect book as you gather books about the city, right? I figured I could run into some fun experiences if I joined you on that journey. I don't have a whole lot to do out there anyway. I go back to being a washed-up fixer, scraping at the bottom of the barrel again. And there's one thing I've been meaning to figure out more than anything else. I'm hoping I can maybe find an answer here one day if I stick around and help you out. You have a coincidence of interest, I see. Sure. As much as I exploit you, you're free to make use of me. Try to be careful about it, though. A careless attempt could seriously get you killed. Sheesh, you're being way too vicious with words. Just what made you so sharp? Better not pry into my past any further. I feel like slowly melting your limbs this time. Fine, jeez. I have a question, ma'am. Do you take questions, ma'am? What is it now? Sure, it's an appropriate question. I did warn you already. What's up with the librarians here? They don't really feel like real humans. They don't seem to be machines or artificial creatures either. Entities called abnormalities and employees, both of which were thoroughly exploited by the facility that once stood upon where we are. They're just like me in that sense. Originated from humans, taken advantage of, and abandoned once grown out of use. I don't know, what you're doing with them now still looks like exploitation. They were broken. They couldn't even sustain a stable form, and their existence is so fragile they could fade away at any moment. They're barely kept together, as I bound them to a physical body in a book. All I can do for them now is find the one book that will free me and the librarians. You want to release the librarians? That's the only way for any of us to leave, you know? They use the same kind of power to reconstruct your body. Huh. Just remember this. As we collect numerous books from our guests, we will eventually reach the one absolute book that contains everything. The book of... with the answer to life, universe, and everything? Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. Alright, we've got Isad's Floor. Noticing that it's between the two we've unlocked so far. That's fun. And as usual, I think it'll probably suck until we have the second character, so we're not completely overwhelmed by attacks. But let's see if we can go burn all these new books. All the access, anyway. Alright. That'll work. We're missing one of the character pages, it looks like. That's unfortunate. We got a lot of new cards here. I didn't even get to use most of these in the combat, I don't think. Yeah, we didn't get Tan. Does look like that one's rarer too, so one might require more work to get. Now some general invitations. General invitations sent to unimportant guests who won't lead the plot. However, they can be resources to help grow the library. Following steps below to send a general invitation. The general invitations types of guests to take interest will depend on the value of the books you register. Choose any books you'd like to register as your books of the day by clicking on empty register book slot, any amount or grade. And a combination of books that is used for a red invitation will invite the matching guest instead. So you can re-challenge people that way, I guess. And I already used up all my duplicate books, so I don't think I want to do that. Do invitations consume books? Invitations still good to do, they give useful cards. Makes sense, makes sense. Only if you lose. That makes sense. I guess theoretically I could put these in and re-challenge them again. And we can see what cards are missing here. Missing that one. We got all the other character pages so far. General invitations are different guests than the story ones. Yeah, that makes sense. Theoretically, if we did like that, they wouldn't show. Right, that makes sense. And well, do we need to do that? I don't think so, right? And just do the next story mission right away. I guess that aren't directly linked to the story but sell their backstories and their key pages. That makes sense. They got even more characters that aren't necessary. Oh, well, okay. That narrows it down. We need, do we not have that one, right? No, we do. Okay, never mind. We do have that one. This is one of the general invitations, scrap story reception with a fan favorite character. Nice. That makes sense. Place for them to use all the stuff they didn't end up using in the main story. Now we just need the one book here. Oh. That was a very fleshy sound. Nope, not this. That won't do either. I can't seem to find the one that strikes me with inspiration. Hey there, Pierre. Brought you some fresh ones this time. I got bruised a bit too hard, but they're still breathing. Well, busy developing a new dish? Welcome, Jack. Dishes are one thing, but we're running way too short on ingredients these days. Luckily, I have my reliable friend Jack here, so I won't have to worry about that for a while. What happened? The musicians of Bremen say they're no longer selling ingredients to us. Those freaks are always unpredictable. We still have not well-produced IDs in Limbus. Nice. What about little piggies, then? Same deal, stop trading with us. Let's do this the old way, you and I together. I'd love to, but we can't go to our usual spot anymore. The Zwei Association is safeguarding that area now. We should pioneer new supply chains. While we're at it, I want to be more experimental with new ingredients. I'm using only young ones for far too long. Oh, that's unfortunate. I'll miss the pasty hand pies that you make. You have to deal with it, unfortunate as it is. Since we've lost several vendors that used to provide quality meat for us, saying conventional dishes won't cut it. Gourmets will surely notice the drop in the quality of our ingredients. You're aiming to become one of the 8 chefs, right, Pierre? That's right. 8 chefs are the brightest of the stars of the city that shine over us. They never fail to present us with stunning and sensational flavors. What kind of new ingredients are you looking for? Each one should be easier to get, though their meat tends to be squishy. It's not everyone's favorite, but some like it. I'm not looking for a compromise. I want a taste that differentiates this from other restaurants. Ever heard of the library? Heard monsters live there. It may still be an urban myth, but monster meat is usually hard to get unless we travel all the way to the outskirts. Oh, now that's promising. Isn't it? I got an invitation from the library some time ago, see? I'll surprise the gourmets with a dish that's so stimulating and novel, it could even rival the 8 chefs themselves. So, Jack, you can just count on me and follow my lead, understand? What are we gonna do with the ingredients I brought today, then? Now, let's turn them into jam. We're bottling them alive, so put them on drips of anesthetics and repressors and store them in the kneader. Meat jam's nice. I knew you'd love it. And as I said before, you have to put them legs first, not head first. You gotta keep them alive as long as possible, you know? Not as flavorful if they die too quickly. Yeah, that sounds horrifying. Thanks. Very Project Moon, though. It's like, how dark and depraved and depressing can we make this? Very, very depraved. Cannibalism is a thing in the backstreets, it seems. There are quite a few perverted maniacs who are into that, yeah. The answer is yes. Yep. It's kind of a taboo even in the backstreets. Certainly can't go around saying how tasty human meat is. It's actually the wealthy folk who consume human meat the most. However, the backstreets of District 23 are an exception. It's still mild by Project Moon standards, I believe it. And they only care about pursuing the ultimate flavor and will do anything for it. Each part of the backstreet seems to have its own set of characteristics. It mostly depends on the policies set by the nest and the wing. And most of the backstreets are being neglected anyway. Is human meat particularly delicious or anything? Heck if I know. Never tried, never wanna. Those guys are kidnapping ordinary people and cooking them right after. Gourmets seem to think that such cruelty only adds to the flavor. Even worse, they believe cooking people alive and making them suffer as much as possible is key to perfecting taste. It's a fun fact, you don't want to do that in real life. Well, obviously the cannibalism part, but even like regular animals that you're cooking, often torturing them will cause their body to release all kinds of chemicals that will make them worse to eat. Fun fact. But anyway. I can't speak to people, obviously. But for, like, other animals. Humans eating humans, what a sight to behold. This is a brand new smell. I don't think I like the scent. Now, Jack, it's unfamiliarity like this that brings forth new ideas, you see? If you say so. Greetings, dear guests. I am Angela, the director and librarian of my role's namesake. Wow, what a wonderful looking ingredient. Such a glossy appearance. It certainly looks like a fresh, top-grade ingredient on the outside, but... Pierre? Yeah, I know. She's unfortunately not a human. But, that's why I'm even more excited. How do you taste? I'm afraid you cannot do any harm to me. Never know until we try. Stay calm, Jack. Keep her manners. She's a wonderful individual who invited us here, you see? Oh yeah. I apologize for my rudeness, ma'am. Now then, Miss Angela, may we enter now? May you find your book in this place. I think a lot of times she's just like saying that such a depressed attitude, like, yeah, okay, go try to find your book, but let's get this over with. I don't really want you to find it. Screw you. We're done here, go ahead. Yep. Alright, we lost that initiative roll. Ooh, those are some decent hitting attacks. 2625, 3635, so we might just barely beat that. And then 4-5 defense and 3-5 attack. You can probably beat that with a defensive clash, I think. Ouch. I forgot that it doesn't clash if you just ignore the attacks. That's an important mechanic to remember. It doesn't matter who's being targeted. 2-6. I got 50-50 odds of defending against that one. How about we're out of light? Never mind. That simplifies things. 1-8, 2-6. You might win that. I don't know. We'll find out. 4-5 defense, 3-5 attack. This might just straight up beat both of those. We're lucky. 4-8. That should work. Nice. Max damage. Die. Free damage. Stunned. And stunned. Feel happiness through the candlelight and warmth. It's such a depressing fairy tale. Alright, 14 HP, and you were weak to everything? Wow. Right, because you're stunned. That's how that works. I forgot. Alright, why don't we just... No, we'll do damage to both. Yeah. You we can probably take out. Not quite. They're so low. Sorry, characters become fatal to everything. That's right. That was the thing last time, but I just forgot. Alright, 3-4 attack. 2-6 defense. We can probably block that. 1-6, 4-4. Might be able to do that. Kind of gambling on that first attack, but we got a higher range. Now easily deflected, and you're dead. Died. Nice. He's stunned again. 100% chance to get Book of Jack. Alright. Finish him off. Wrap it up. I feel like I activated easy mode or something. Just adding a second librarian significantly improved this combat. Which makes sense. Alright, cool. We got 3 of each character's book. Not all fights are made equal. Yep. What a bunch of nutcases. It's best not to interact with the likes of them. At least they're more well-mannered than you. Now here's a word of wisdom for our still naive Miss Librarian. If you meet a polite and well-mannered person in the back streets, run for your life. Not all lunatics are polite, but polite people tend to be lunatics. It's a lot easier in 2v2 if you have less librarians, for sure. Yeah. Than if you have less librarians. Yeah. 3v1 versus 2v2. Much more straightforward. Not sure if that has anything to do with politeness. Here's another word of wisdom. Lunatics always exist in any given group of people, so there's no point in using any criteria to divide people into groups to see which is more insane. What a load of bull. He's not impressed. So we got abnormality unlocked for there. What are our objectives here? Unlock all lower floors. Rise to the link of an urban legend, so that's just gonna be story progression, basically. Use abnormality pages on librarians of battle. We're making good progress on that. Obtain the Book of Unknown. Haven't done that yet. We have other criteria for this one, though. Alright. General work is mostly story locked. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay. Burn our extra books. Alright, we got at least one of each character's page. That's good. Ingredient hunt. Keep it fresh. Very thematic. I can cook anything! Chaos, chaos. Okay, Alright, that's the character. Whatchamacallit? Story history. Alright, I forgot to actually equip Yasad's stuff. Let's do that now. Instant cooking. Recover 10 HP upon defeating an enemy. That's fun. Recover 2 HP at the start of each scene. Okay, those are kind of useful. What about the hooks? A defeating enemy, gain 1 strength. Gain 1 strength, gain 1 strength. Yeah, okay, that makes sense. Their leader might have something different, but we didn't unlock them. This one seems really good. 2 HP each turn. That adds up quick. 10% HP on defeating an enemy is situational, since usually by the time we're defeating enemies, we're towards the end of the fight anyway. Kinda like this one. Alright, and then we need to equip pages. I can cook anything! Stab, and then on hit, recover 4 HP. That's pretty nice. On a guaranteed 4/4 hit. I like that one a lot. Got harvesting. Alright, inflict a bunch of bleed. This one's really good too, with the just general high numbers, having defensive options mixed in. Let's try those out. Overpower. It's a good attack. Let's go defensive 1. Gonna high attack and then an evade. Sure. And then quick paralysis. Looked fragile. They X additional damage from attacks for the scene. Oh, that's kind of cool. It's a good one to like chain if we're stabbing with a bunch of stuff. Good for just dodging away. There's 0 cost damage to the bleed. Sure. Do something like that. Alright. Don't have any symbols for you yet, I don't think. No. But we can let you put your own fashion on. There we go. This feels appropriate to leave them in their default outfits for the librarians themselves. Alright, that looks good. Book of Forsaken Murderer. I remember this guy. Okay. So what is your gimmick? Deal double stagger damage on successful attacks. All dice lose 4 power when the character has status effects. So applying status effects to him is important then, is what I'm seeing. I'm like inflicting fragile. That hits. These usually if you give him any malice. Makes sense. Nice. Yeah. Sound effects. Okay. He's gonna defend twice and then attack once. You can just burst through that. Max damage. Yeah, rolled a 1 on everything. Murder breathing ASMR. Or murderer breathing ASMR, exactly. Alright, and that cleanses status effects, so now we'll need to apply a new one. I don't think we have anything else, though, that applies status right now. Ooh, that is a lot of damage. Yeah, you have -4 on every roll, exactly. This is the one I need a -4 on, but, I don't. So, we're just gonna see how well we can defend. Yeah, okay, I can't roll a 7. We're staggered. Ouch. Alright, so now I know, for the next attempt, we need to, build all status effects. Yep. That's a problem. We have 9 HP. Like two bleed next scene. I think that's what we want. I don't have enough light for that. Okay. This one inflicts bleed. Let's hope we survive this round. Yeah, okay. So that is 5 to 7, but he's gonna have -4. So if this lands, we recover HP. That'd be nice. Staggered. 4 HP regen. Alright. Can we burst through this with 2 light? I feel like bleed next scene. Don't mind if I do. Never noticed that the PR ID is Ard and Limbus is a reference to the can't cook anything card. That's cool. Nice. I can cook anything. This is pretty simple. We might be able to just beat him on that. We got 18 HP. We can survive this. Maybe we just try to inflict status again. There we go. We win. Alrighty. Woo. That was close. You got that with that one turn without any debuffs and... Woo. That was close. Damn, check out how orderly these books are organized. Compulsion is almost scaring me at this point. Your clothes are still slovenly. Strands Roland's attire once again. I appreciate it, but it feels kind of awkward to be honest. Proper attitude of the mind begins with a well-conducted body. Well, I guess I should say thanks. What is your business this time? Nothing unusual. Got some books to deliver and some questions to ask. You're from Malkuth, the librarians here used to be humans long ago. Is that true? It is. Are you all seasoned brawlers in your past lives then? Like the ringleaders of syndicates? Though my intuition as a fixer is telling me otherwise. Observation would be correct. None of us live such a violent life. Save for a couple of exceptions, that is. Knew it. I knew it. How are you so skillful at dealing with guests, though? It's thanks to the books. We gain the powers of the previous guests through their books. Ah, so that's why you guys seem to grow sort of stronger with every book I gave you. Library, books act as a source of power. Emotions can do the same. I'm gonna say, dude forgot about Gebra and Bina. Yep. At least in those cases, they definitely have a lot of fighting ability, but we haven't unlocked them yet. Through the books, we can imbue our own bodies with the senses and strengths that are engraved in others' bodies. Moreover, the library can amplify the emotions of its denizens, acts upon visitors and residents alike. Wow, these books are a lot more impressive than I thought. Heck, they might even be better than the surgeries and tools most workshops have to offer. Information is one thing, but this could be a real moneymaker. You think in secular terms. Call it the pathetically tearful survival instincts of a man who's lived most of his life in poverty, will ya? Anyways, that's all for my questions. Thanks for your kind answers. Don't mistake this for kindness. I do not particularly think highly of you. You're nothing more than Angela's little lapdog. What? Hey, that's rude. You know I didn't take this job by my choice. Does that necessarily exempt you from guiltiness, however? Now, if you're done with your errands, kindly take your leave now. That little piece of... And now an assistant librarian has a... have no pages. On a successful blunt attack, inflict 1 bind and paralysis next scene. Excludes mass attacks. Now, if we have a blunt deck, that's quite good. Blunt dice gain 1 to 3 power, speed is fixed at 1. That's not bad. Speed isn't really that important. Some of these cards are just bonk them really hard. Yep. Raise the minimum value of all dice by 1 and raise the maximum value by 3. I mean, all these are buffs, really. But the drawbacks are not that bad. Joshua. Okay. Another Joshua. Guess we're that. So we want blunt attacks then. see. I don't have a lot of pure blunt attacks. If you press the advanced button at the top, you should be able to filter the cards. That makes sense. Cool. That simplifies things a little bit. Blow it up! Get some defensive cards in here too. Cruelty. Lots of paralysis options. Cool. Alright, we'll see how that goes. Let's see, and we can customize our appearance too. I feel like that hairstyle isn't a good fit for someone named Joshua. They probably wouldn't have bangs. Not bangs, long hair in the back. That kind of name. Good with the color though. Seems appropriate. Let's hear a few fights in the rank. Do recommend hunting for general receptions. They can really be worth getting. Alright, cool. We'll do that when we get to it then. Yeah, I think we unlock some more items at some point. Flare of Iron. Counter gain paralysis 3 times. Ah, if we get paralyzed. Fun. Stagger damage. Only have 2 mouth options. There's a 5% chance it's more likely to actually come into play at some point. I'll turn off the display for Malkuth. Face mask works here though, I think. With the roll end, we don't need to be displaying that. Bonbon can. The helmet does look kind of goofy though. Leave that off. There's the bandage on the nose, that's cute. Alright, cool. That should be good. So these ones only have one rank to them. Alright. Lulu. Why is our office so unpopular with clients? Our office is officially designated by the Zwei Association as an affiliate, too. The crime rate of territories secured by the Streetlight Office remained at a remarkable 0%, as long as the contract is in effect. We only cover 2 blocks of space at most, though. And we'll eventually get work if we wait. Yeah, sure, you can keep waiting for the rest of your life. Seriously considering moving to another office. Never thought you'd have what it takes to work for a bigger office. Unlike you, I have several business connections I made from experience, do you understand? Your mother must be too busy being a legendary fixer or whatever, while I have friends who can help me right away. Yeah, some great fixer you are. Yeah, why thanks, I know I'm great. Hey, you ate the cake in the fridge, didn't you? Guys, I work for you. Fighting again, are you? This SOB ate the cake without even asking me. Expiration date was yesterday, so I took care of it, that's all. Ah, it's my cake. Even if it's expired, I'll take care of it on my own. Anyway, boss, how about that work? Don't change the topic. I'll get you another cake, so calm down for a moment, alright? But That was a limited edition cake. Still rather skeptical about it, but I got this one from a friend of mine at the association. I mean that associate fixture working directly under the Zwei? Yes, sir. The Hana Association is yet to consider this request as a subject that needs to be addressed officially. You heard of the library? Some stories of it. You ever heard rats talking about it? So the books in that place had tremendous value or whatever. I see. I retrieved an invitation to the library from my friend I just mentioned. But we might not get much payment from this request if it's off the record. It won't count towards our official career either. Such as it is, the association is trying to remain cautious about it. We're really gonna walk right into a place we know nothing about? She had promised to see to it that we're rewarded with pay comparable to an urban legend class request if everything goes down well. Surely it was a bad idea after all, don't you think? Let's do this. Guess we have no choice. It's still too uncertain, but we need that money. We haven't been too busy lately. Thanks everyone. We'll get through like we always have. Unfortunately, I think you're all gonna die. Why? Hana? Talking about associations of fixers. Takes more than just setting up an office to jump into the fixer business. There are a total of 12 fixer associations across the city, each in charge of different types of work. Cases and requests are all sorted according to the type and sent to one of these associations. Associations manage offices and delegate work to them, I see. That's right. Sometimes the association might send documents to multiple offices at once, or directly have associate fixers take care of the work. Among them, the Hana Association is in overall control of all fixers. They grade fixers and authorize offices and stuff. Do offices have grades as well? Essentially. The requests sent out by the associations are graded too. They really love to grade things, don't they? It's easier to know that way. Know what? How valuable I am as a person. Think about it. Who in the city could claim, "This is my worth," with confidence? Everyone's busy minding their own business. No one is going to lounge around having deep conversations about each other's value. Hana are also the ones to decide who gets a color rank. Ah, that makes sense. Knowing each other's grades and affiliations, on the other hand, can save a ton of words. You can tell if you're above or below the person you're talking to right away. Sounds like people stop trying to learn or think about it at some point. Bet you won't say the same once you experience the city life for a bit. You have to interact with so many people out there, whether you want to or not. People have been looking for ways to adapt to the city, and this is just one of them. So you really are desperate. I think we'd take on a job like this. Stop complaining. Should be glad to have work at all. I know. Do you really have to point out the obvious? Yeah, now, cool it down, guys. Can't tell if you're best friends or worst enemies. Excuse me, please don't associate me with this goof. I certainly don't want that either. Alright, let's have a feast at Julie's restaurant once this is over. The tab's on me. Yeah. Greetings, dear guests. You seem to be well acquainted with each other. Who are you? Prepare yourselves. There's no need to be so wary. Our ordeal has not started yet. I am Angela, and director and librarian of my role's namesake. Nice to meet you. I'm San from the Streetlight office. We're brought here by the invitation. There's something I'd like to ask about it. What is it? I actually retrieved this invitation from another person, not directly from you. Are we still eligible? Yes, indeed. The invitation eventually reached you, dear guest, and you signed your name with your own will. Everything has worked as intended. I see. And you find your book in this place. Ah, she was a nicer person than I thought. I look like a human to you? I mean, she did have the shape of a person. Something about her didn't feel right. I can't exactly put it to words. She probably is a machine. Didn't expect to see a machine that's so similar to a human being. Let's focus on our work. Once again, you must back off as soon as you feel that you're in danger. I don't think that's how this works. I think you have to fight to the death here. Alright, let's try out the new group. Floor of Technological Sciences. I do like that background. It's fun. Alrighty. Whew, everyone's piling on your side, okay. Gather intel, basic attack. Taste my flaming bat! That feels appropriate. Alright, high defense, high dodge. If you win that clash, you boost your next dice value by 3, so that becomes a 6-6. Or no, it becomes a 3-6. 3-6, but that's still pretty bad. On Clash Win, gain 1 endurance next scene. 2-6 damage. Okay, so you're the biggest threat by far. I can redirect it. What are the odds of a 2-5 beating that? Actually, could. It's definitely possible. The option is this one, 2-6. 2-6, 2-5, 2-6. Yeah, I think we go with that one. There we go. Try not to die to the flaming bat. And then we haven't taken damage yet, so we don't need to recover HP. Got a 2-6 and a 2-6. Could try just dodging both. Often value the fixture associations and have the corresponding number in different languages. Ah, right, that makes sense, because Y is 2, I noticed that. Hana is 1 in Korean, okay. I didn't know what language that was, that makes sense. So presumably there's an association that's a 3, that's named after 3 in another language. That would make sense. 3, 4. 3 is traced from Spanish. Makes sense. And so on and so forth. Some fun music. Alright, let's do this one. I don't have a great odds of winning the clash, but we can try. That prevents him from getting endurance. Beat that, perfect. Take a little bit of damage, but that's fine. Only one currently on scene is 8. Makes sense. Tie, excellent. A bit of damage. So we're net neutral on that that turn, but such is life. Okay. Yeah. I do wish it took longer, like you said, to switch over the music. So I was liking the music, and then it just immediately switches over after the first round. Whoa, okay. I don't like that one. They're just doing the same thing again. Okay, I gotta start computing here. Alright, 3, 4, 1, 12. And what if we try to just focus down Mars here? Can you focus on defending? Nice. Bang. Bang. Dang. Nice dodge. Nice dodge. Ooh. We're achieving not much. Okay. Yeah, that one's pretty good. Let's do that. On, you're already injured. Let's do it on the guy that's not injured yet. In case you die. Alright. Just standing there. Oh great, we get the ASMR. And that's for violence. So funny. Ah, yeah. Makes sense. Okay, 2, 3. Unsuccessful defense recovered 2 HP. Dang. They're still mostly at full HP, so we don't need to heal yet. Use appetite one could use the defense coins. That's a good point. Yeah, 3-4 versus 2-3. Let's do that. Good point. Yahazu. Okay. Same thing here. Nope. You only live once. Unless if you already played through the game or something. Yeah, that's true. Boom. Nice. I just ignore those defensive rolls. Alrighty. You're just gonna keep doing similar things, aren't you? Oh, set fire. Like 3 burn, deal 3 damage to self. Ooh. Yikes. Gain 2 endurance next scene. So you're just gonna be tanky next turn, no matter what. You got some bleed. Might be able to burst you down. Three, 4, 2, 4. First attack's not likely to beat his defense, but will win the other clashes most certainly. And then forgot to set me on fire. Let's say no. Slam, nice. Stunned. More damage. Block, counter, staggered, 3 damage. Alright, not bad. What's this? 1 attack, inflict 1 bind and paralysis. Sure. Okay. And when you need to kill someone because you heal on killing. You're at 1 HP, you're at 5 HP. Let's take out the 5 HP person. Doesn't really matter too much, but sword damage equal to stacks of bleed. Recover HP, so that'll just be 1. Not a huge deal. Let's do that. And then you can counter here. 1 to 6, 2 to 3. 1 to 5 to 6. These like better odds. Yeah. Staggered. Dead. We regain health. Alright. This is looking more doable. Alright. 2, 4, 2, 6. Oh yeah, we can just counter with that. And then, doesn't. I got 7 HP, we need to do a bit of damage here to win. It's not too bad. You got 2 stacks of bleed, sure. Recover health on bleed. Nice. Nice. Kaboom. Kaboom. And we ended up with like half our HP back after being on the brink of death. Not bad. Not bad. And what's it called? When you're like heal from doing damage, there's like a playstyle that's called. I can't think of that name for some reason. That thing. They're still rookies. It's not a good idea for fixers to form such tight bonds with each other. I guess this will be a lesson for them. Talk as if you're used to all this. Will it be a lesson for them if they're dead, though? Or they're turned into books forever? I've already grown past that phase, and some more, too. Forming bonds aren't bad, per se. There's just too much risk associated with it. Real deal fixers know when to cut things off. You need to keep enough distance from people so you won't feel hurt from their losses? Yep. It's ironic that people who aren't even mentally prepared to face death are applying for a job that involves killing in the first place. Mara's the only one that died, you could see the other two retreat instead. Ah, I missed that. That makes sense. Well, rest in peace. So I guess if they're able to leave like that, then they're going to tell people about the library. That could be a problem for us. As they learn things about how the invitations work. Literature, huh? That's got to be the most unfitting category for the city. Hello, I'm Hod, in charge of the floor of literature. Hi, Hod. Hey, I'm Roland, helper of Angela in several ways. That's also why you only got the Book of Mars as a reward. Could be good because Angela wants to book as many people as she can. That's true. We will be attracting more people to the place. But, rank of infamy is so low enough the big shots won't care. Yeah. But clearly he asked that question about, like, how the invitations worked because he's trying to information gather about the library for other people to follow up later. Interesting. I see. Don't tell me, do you also happen to hold some sort of grudge against Angela? I'm not at all friendly towards her, that's for certain. But we made a deal with her, so we're obliged to help her without complaint. Oh boy, future ain't looking too bright. Everyone's got a problem with Angela. What the heck did she do to deserve this reputation? She's done something unforgivable, just like I did in the past. I still don't know a whole lot about this place, but I can see one thing. Something's terribly messed up with the library and its staff. Like the working of the invitations, it doesn't matter who gets it first, it'll somehow end up in the right hands. Yeah, that is fun. I do like that. Kind of weaponized fate. I love those sorts of time travel stories where they're like, I know how the future is going to end already, so that means I can do dangerous stuff now because I know I won't die until that day. So I can be reckless and it'll be fine. It's always kind of fun. It's kind of a similar thing. So the rats found one in some dude's guts. Yeah, but just happened to be there. Just a random fate. Can all this even be resolved at some point? Can't answer that for sure, but you'll get to see the result. For all, there's a clear end to this deal. If you follow Angela along her journey to the end, you'll find out. Ah, cute. Deep portrait. It's frustrating already. I have guests to receive and librarians to take care of. Can we all be good friends in the library at least? Among the books you bring, I'll be sorting those about the literature of the city. So Floor of Literature says books about books. So you collect more books, you might be able to find the answers to your questions, whether you like it or not. Ah. Finally starting to get why Angela hates roundabout speech so much. Alright, fine. I'm gonna dig into the bottom of this mystery now that I've gotten into this mess. Good luck, Mr. Roland. Alright, thanks for your supportive words, Miss Hod. We're getting so many floors so quickly. I feel like I'm not used to Yassad's floor yet. Alright. So I don't have whatever book we need for that. Or that one. Complete an act after 3 librarians have reached emotion level 2. That sounds like that would be difficult. I guess we'd have to last through 2 rounds for that to happen. Maybe the 3rd episode of Malkuth's story. Or blocked on Malkuth. I just want a book. Makes sense. Alright. Alright, we need to burn pages. Or books. 3 books of Mars. We did have 1 Mars page. Speed dice slot +1. Cannot overlap. Interesting. Deal +1 stagger damage against enemies with lower speed. So this would be one reason not to reduce your speed to 1 then. It doesn't get your first 2 speed die key page. He's a speedy boy. And he's not weak to anything. That's fun. Alright, we'll try it out. You want to be speedy. Whoever uses that key page can use up to 2 cards each turn. Ah. I can see how you'd run out of light very quickly then. Good to know. Mars is one of the best early to mid-game key pages. That makes sense. Potentially worth grinding multiple copies out then. Alright, do I have anything that it boosts speed then? Not really. It's unique when you only get 1? Ah, never mind. I didn't notice that. I was looking at the totals. Get more key pages without passive as you progress. Makes sense. Alright, well, I don't know what your Abno ability will be, so we'll just, pick some random cards, I guess. Cooking anything is pretty nice, being able to heal from that. Lower max value of opponents next time by 2. Don't dare fight yet anyway, I don't think its abilities matter. Cool. Yeah, no, I'm just like, so I don't have to come back and rework the deck later. If I knew what the gimmick was, but I don't know what the gimmick is, so it doesn't matter. Kinda like picking all the blunt cards to synergize with that Abno. And we got plenty of 3s and 2s, we need some low rank ones, so we can gain light. Yeah, 2/6 attack, that's decent. Flash one, restore 1 light. So my thought process here is we can, if we get 2 actions, we can use 1 to regenerate light, so we can do the 3 cards more often. See if that build works or if it's a bad idea. You ever want to try general invitations on the wiki page so I can tell you what to use? Good to know. I mean, if you think we should go do it, we can do it now. You don't think anything gets my call? Yeah, but I don't know. I don't know how important it is. You're saying it's important. Okay, what should I do? If I want to do one. Can be important, but it's still optional. Alright, well, we'll do one then. Yeah, if it's useful. What should I use? the books that I have. I need 3 Canard rank books. So that should be the early ones, right? I can filter them with symbols at the top, okay. Is that these? Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Can I use the generic ones that I have unlimited? To make different books. That makes sense. Alright, ones that'll be easy to get back if I screw up and lose the fight. This one might not count. I'll pick an actual one. Oh, let's see what happens. Unexpected guests and general invitation. We got Backstreet's Butchers. And there's the generic nugget enemies. As long as it doesn't say invalid, it's good. Alright, good to know. We haven't used Roland in a bit. I have any other conditions to meet with these guys? Hey Carrick, how's it going? There's one with having 3 librarians boost their emotional states. I don't know if doing that across multiple floors will count, but we'll find out, I guess. How's Hawk? I'm doing alright. There's only 1 act here. Yeah, it said 3 librarians boost emotion 2 across 1 act. But if I lose on 1 floor, then it'll still be the same act, but it'll move to the 2nd floor, right? And I only lose books if I lose the entire act. Even if 1 floor gets wiped, right? Feels convoluted, I don't know if it works or not. Yeah. It's just a guess based on how it's written. I don't know if it'll count or not. Or if it has to be 3 librarians in a single fight, which I'm assuming I won't unlock for a little while. I guess we'll find out. There we go, we got 2 speed dice. Turn this off if you can. Two, 3. So we definitely beat that one. Then we can do something against someone else. It's a 2-6. Heal, a 2-6 to heal. So we're definitely losing that fight, most likely. We're gonna try restoring light with this one. 3-4. Do okay against either of those. I believe they're all attacking Hod. Yeah, I know. Wow, nothing happened. Okay. We did win that clash, so we gained some light back. Otherwise, that did basically nothing. And the music changed already. Dang it. Okay. Anyone rolling low? No, not particularly. Do a little bit of damage through that. Definitely not do anything about that one with the cards we have. 1-6, 4-4. Yeah, we're not gonna manage to do much through that. We might be able to do a little bit of damage against that. This is gonna inflict paralysis. Ideally, we don't want to do that, but what can you do? I guess we'll do this. 1644. Slightly better odds against this one. Not really. Against this one. Alright. Nice, nice. Ouch. 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 Now see why light management and card drawing get really important. Yes. Yes, indeed. Alright, well, goodbye, Hod. Shit. Yep. Well, there we go. We got to emotion level 2, right? Hod got rolled. Okay, then let's go with Yassad's team. I was only at level 1, but since behind Louis, you couldn't actually see. Ah. Alright, it's in the corner. I was looking at the team emotion levels. They're at the top. That makes sense. Oh, it's fine. Okay. So we've accomplished nothing. Basically a fresh fight. So all they have next to their portrait. That makes sense. Oof, okay. 3-4. Two, 4. And the rest of it's free damage. Try to say your enemies have a higher emotion level so they get buffs. Well, there is that. Alright, 2-6, 2-5. We can directly gamble against that. Dang it. Oh, free damage, free damage. Stunned. Deflect. Ouch. Okay. So far, so good. Okay, and everyone's attacking Joshua here. Let's redirect one of these, I think. Great. 2-6, 2-5, 2-6. Let's try to block that one. And then we're gonna ignore this attack to take out this guy. You bleeding? You have 1 stack of bleed. That's not a lot of healing, but it's something. You got 10 HP. Should probably do about that much damage. Let's see. And there we go. Enemy taken out. Nice. Staggered. Beautiful. We take damage there no matter what, but that's fine. I'll take that buff. Alright. We can totally beat this. The higher dice roll maximums. Free damage. Yep. Boom. Ouch. Not staggered though. Now you're staggered. Free blunt. I've always gotten Joshua. We stack the deck with blunt cards for you. Yeah. Do that. I can cook anything. Boom. Easy. When I wasn't using HOD. Or a 3v1. Okay, no battle symbols gained. Need to get some books though. Dark Alleys of the Back Streets, Volume 1, and a Guide to District 23. Interesting, so that one can give some character pages. Looks like. When to try general reception, generally you just have to try random combinations of current and direct previous ranks. Makes sense. The possibilities that can show up. Cool, cool. Nice. A lot of appetite cards here. Cool. That's how general invitation works. I don't think that progressed anyone's objectives. Yeah, no. I got Taken's card, we did. Not from him. I guess that makes it worthwhile if we're trying to collect every card, at least one. General invitations are completely optional. Yeah, they can't give good cards. So that makes sense to do them. Cool. Alright, what's next on invitations? We go to part 2, that makes sense. The Book of Mars, the person we just killed. And you don't need to do them to unlock new avenue fights. Makes sense? Yeah. I'm terribly sorry. It's all my fault that the job went wrong. You're taking our hands off the library from now on. It was out of our scope to begin with. I already sent a report to the Zwei. If you want to poke around, you can. Yeah. That might be a good thing to do off-stream as well. I feel like popping into the game for a few minutes. What? What about Mars? Was his death pointless then? Really am sorry. You can blame me all you want. I misjudged. Our profession is peacekeeping, not exploration or combat. There's a cake in the fridge. Is that you, boss? Cake? No, I didn't buy any cake yet. I'll go outside for a bit. Hey, stupid idiot. It's not like you at all to buy cakes for others. You said your mother's an amazing fixer. You'd love to show off your stupidly huge sword, saying it's a gift from her. Brag so much that you'd be just like your mother someday. Mars' book. As it happens to the people who die in there, I won't let them toy with him. I'll never let them. Sam will totally try to stop me if I bring this up. I'll go there on my own. I've got friends to help me, too. Boy, this is frankly heartbreaking. Shouldn't have seen that. TBH heavily implies that she had a crush on Mars. Yeah, I think that's definitely implied here. It's been all tsundere. Unfortunately, we had to turn him into a book. Yeah, well, that's life. Shouldn't have grown attached to people as a fixer. She'll join him soon enough, exactly. We can reunite you in bookdom. Unfortunately, your names aren't alphabetically connected, so you won't be on the same shelf together. Hope that's fine. That's funny, coming from the one who gave a speech on how fixers shouldn't cling to bonds. That's that, and this is this. Still, reacting to every bit of loss is a waste of energy. Everybody lives with burdens to bear. I have my share of unfortunate events, and so do others. It's rude to expose that without the listener's agreement. They'll be bothered to learn something they didn't really have to know. You're already carrying a hefty load of emotional baggage. Telling them your sob story will feel like you're showing off how heavy your own baggage is. You might feel a bit of sympathy, but they'll also be displeased. This is what talking about with like trying not to trauma dump on people while they're in the middle of trauma dumping. It's totally fine to complain and share your problems with other people, but it's rude to like interrupt them with your own problems when they're doing that, you know? Like, they'll be sympathetic to you, but they'll also be annoyed that it feels like you're being compared. And that's, Roland's got it understood. Don't overexpress your feelings, whether you're happy or sad, and say goodbye to each other with the appropriate words. It's all for the sake of each other. That being said, it's still a very important to vent and to share your emotions. That's how you work through them. So I'm not at all saying don't do that. You just don't say, well, here's how I feel about your problems. That's kind of rude most of the time. Don't express whether you're happy or sad, and say goodbye to each other with the appropriate words. It's all for the sake of each other. Event, I'm gonna call a meeting to report you. Mm-hmm. That's very sus. Sounds even more tiring to me. I shouldn't let my feelings distract me from my librarian work, most of all. Gotta stay level-headed and help you collect books about the city. You're right. As soon as you become useless to me, I'll dispose of you. And I'll go back to my duties of being a useful servant for the sake of my survival, ma'am. Greet. Yeah. Just immediately attacked. Shut up. I don't need a greeting from a despicable piece of junk. I'm here for Mars's book. I'll get his book, kill all the monsters here, and blow your head clean off. I'm afraid your third statement is going to be difficult for you to fulfill, dear guest. I said shut up. May you find your book in this place. I guess she knows what book she wants. Lulu's friend. You're gonna lead your friends to die? Good for you. Now let's keep going with the Soud's group at first. We got 2 acts, makes sense. Her friends first and then her. Okay. You're doing a basic 1-5 attack, no problem. How about a 3-7 attack? How does that sound? You're doing a 1-5. Ooh. Might be overkill. But there's no kill like overkill. Slam. Staggered. Raw. Fair enough. Okay. And then you're gonna do a 1-6. And if you win, it boosts a 1-3 to a 1-5. And if you win that one, then it boosts to a 1-5. That's a fun gimmick. So just don't lose the first one. Maybe to 1-6. Not easily. Best skill is the one where your enemies are gone and not you. Yep. Exactly. Now, do you have anything? Because we can redirect because your speed is higher. Uh, 1-12. There's a good, decent chance of beating the 1-6. I don't have enough life for that. 2-6 could. It's slightly better than average. And if we miss, the 2-3 block might still reduce some of the damage from the multi-hit. We'll try that. And then you got 18 HP, so we need to do a fair bit of damage to take you out completely. You got 3-4 of the bleed. Sure. Nice, win the first one. Block the second one. Second one's weak. Third one's weak. Perfect. Minimum value by 1, yes. Don't have anyone with 3 dice, but we can do 2 dice. Boost to there. Okay. Now you're doing a 2-3 with haste. 2-3, 2-3. Okay. 1-6, 2-5. Probably break through his stagger like that. He's weak to Pierce, and this probably hit with Pierce. And then 5-6. Definitely beat that one. It's guaranteed 2-3 is potentially a draw. 4-4 is guaranteed to beat that one too. Sure. Yep, staggered. Free damage. Almost killed. Draw. Beat. Nice. Alright, and just wail on him and we win. Don't need to overthink this one. Boom. Easy. Okay, and then we got Act 2. Where it's her and 2 friends. Perfect. Let's see. She had a lot of high damage single cards. Do I have anyone that really does that? I don't think so. We'll just do this again. See how that goes. Okay. It's 1-6. Gain endurance. Don't need to recover any HP here, so again 2-6 block, and then 2-5, unlikely to beat a 4-5. Three 5 might roll high enough too. Sure. Try that. And both of the friends are attacking Assad. 2-3, 2-3, and 1-5. It's nothing too dangerous. Let's get this protection to allies next turn. That could be useful. So why don't we just wail on him? Staggered already. Beautiful. Beat that, beat that. Staggered. Okay, friends are down. Or staggered, rather. Alright, successful launch attack. That'll all stack on Joshua. Oh, sorry, Lulu herself is staggered. Okay, well, let's just ignore, what is that? 5, 7, 3, 4. Okay, that is a lot of damage. But I think killing the other enemies is worth more right now. Let's burst down the boss. You take out her, and we'll just face tank all of this damage. Probably won't kill. Oh, but it will stagger. I forgot about that. Oh well. That's a fair trade-off. My mistake. Okay. So you're not staggered anymore, but you're nearly dead. So if we can just land a hit through this defense. And our speed is lower, so we're not going to redirect if we target you, so this will just be uncontested. Assuming our stance doesn't break, which it might from all that. 2-6, 2-5, 2-5, 3-4. Let's struggle against that. At least reduce the damage. So use the def points since they weren't contested. That makes sense. Well, there we go. So now Yusad's back up, and didn't take too much damage from that. It's good. Okay. You decided to go for a one-sided attack. Yeah, that makes sense. So we'll carry over to the second follow-up attack. I'll remember that for next time, hopefully. Okay. So you're close to being staggered. We just need to do 5 damage to you. You're going for a high defense attack here. Be wrong on that one, but you think that's how it works. It would make sense. Alright, you're doing a high damage attack here. You could potentially redirect, so I want you to do that. 2625. At least reduce the damage and counterattack. You're not gonna do much damage anyway, so why don't we just uncontested try to take out this person. Yeah, there we go. In exchange for more damage on Joshua, we finish off that person. And then just 3 hits, 3 damage to stagger. That should be easy at this point. You can go for heal. We'll definitely win that second clash with the guaranteed 4-4. Recover from Stacks of Bleed. They don't have any bleed on them, but that is a high damage attack. Nice, staggered. 2 HP. Fatal. Only live once. Oh, rest in peace. Shouldn't have had a crush on someone. Clearly that was her mistake. Okay. And we got her book. And we got the generic book, Streetlight Office, and then a bunch of extra books. Perfect. She had a crush on someone and now she got crushed. Exactly. Are you feeling guilt or any strong emotions? I'd be lying if I said I feel nothing, but I've already seen plenty of these cheap tragedies. Been the victim of myself a whole lot of times too. I sound like a seasoned veteran for someone who introduced himself as a washed-up fixer. I have my reasons. What, are you curious? You said it's a rude thing to do, didn't you? Besides, I could simply turn you into a book and read your story if I really wanted to know. Oh no, let's not go there yet. How about you? I'm curious to know what our head librarian thinks. Me? I'm indifferent. I've also seen relationships and scripted deaths too many times, and repeat. So I've been trying to run a system where people are free to choose their own destiny, this time around. Free from any coercion. I mean, sure, they all read the warnings on the invitations and agree to those terms by signing their names, but it's still a bit dirty, you know? You're unkillable, and I can revive whenever I die. Again with that. Thought you said my method is fair? Yeah, you aren't wrong. Much more polite and fair than most things in the city. Still, I'm the player character and they're not, so it's not really fair. Today's shy look? Oh, I know that one. Let's burn some books first, though. We got a lot of those. Why do you guess what the gimmick is? Different stats depending on what face it's wearing. Attack when it's either happy or unhappy, one of the two. Lose friend, page 1, page 3. Is there a page 2 that we're missing? That would make sense. I also have a book of Lily can burn on the second row. I missed that. Got Set Fire. That was a good one. That's a good offensive card. It's my Flaming Bat. Successfully dodge, you get a inflict follow burn. Nice. There it is. We get her card. We got her page. Okay, perfect. 50% chance to inflict 1 burn on a successful attack. Okay, so she is the everything burns build. Got it. Fun fact. This page 2 is unused. We can't get it. Interesting. So there's the page 1 and the page 3, but there is no page 2. Awkward. Good to know, though. There's also page 4 that's also unused. Wow. So there's supposed to be a whole thing there, and they just randomly removed page 2 and 4. That's crazy. Alright, well let's try doing this Abno with Hod. Then we can give all of our new pages to our new librarian if we win. 2 other versions of lose friends, enemies that aren't used. That makes sense. I wonder if it was supposed to be like a later fight in the game, so there were supposed to be like more waves to it. And they decided, wait a minute, why does she have a gang of like 12 people? So they moved earlier. I can see something like that happening. Oh boy, yeah, it's randomizing. When does it lock in? Do I have any control over that? That is very rapidly changing. I guess we'll see. 36 bleed, 5 bleed, 216. Guys gain different amounts of power depending on the current phase. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. Now, which side is the high versus the low? That's the question. So it could be as little as 2, could be as high as 16. Jeez. So don't choose wrong. Oh, well, it's only 1 attack, so on this one we're guaranteed to regain health. Seems like low core B1 happy for less damage. Yeah, that would make sense. That doesn't lock it in. Now we're can't do 3. I'll have to do the 2. Now we physically don't have enough light to do 2 cards. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. So, since we didn't roll any 1s or 0s here, we can only do 1 attack. 1 card. Yeah, it's dice. But it is a non-standard plural. Okay. I think that locked it in. The lowest value. Looks like it. No, smiley face. What the fuck do you want from me? You smiling like an idiot? Good question. Indication I'll struggle with the ones in French. Yeah, fair enough. That's all we can do. Only have 1 other point of light here. Yep. Okay. 4. The dog's barking. I'll deal with that later. Okay, now we can do stuff. So... do that to recover HP. Do that for eye damage. Wait for the face to lock in. There we go. Yeah, that makes a huge difference. Wondering why that didn't clash, since you have 2 speed dice, the enemy targets them specifically, not just the character. That makes sense. So the first one... They target a specific die. That makes sense. Oh yeah, I see that. So this one will clash, but this one won't. That makes sense. I got 5 light now. Well, it doesn't really matter too much. Alright, so now you're doing high defense, and gain power if the opponent is staggered. If we can just beat that defense, take the 1-1 damage. And then do that. Wait for the face. There we go. Nice, beat that. Now they're staggered. Free damage, we win. Beautiful. Expression of today's Shylock complete. Da-da-da. Alright, here's the books you asked for. Thanks, Mr. Roland. No need to be so courteous. You can drop the Mr. or just call me Roland. Can I? Roland? Roland? Caesar should also work instead of pressing the thing up top to roll dice and start turn. Makes sense. I've been playing so many mobile first gacha games that I'm just reflexively clicking on everything, even if there's shortcuts. It's like everything's tap. Touchscreen. Considering their games are made in Unity, I'm kind of surprised that they don't have like mobile ports. And Lobotomy Corporation would probably be kind of a nightmare, but I could easily see this one being on mobile. Much better. Feels kind of awkward to speak like this right away. I'll get used to it. How's the collection going, by the way? I mean, I guess that kind of just is Library of Ruina, or Limbus Company. In a nutshell. Ruina's on consoles too? Yeah, that makes sense. That is the big benefit of Unity, is that it's super easy to port to all platforms. Not sure the city has anything worth being called literature. Seems like each person's life counts as a work of literature. The story of one's life is written out like a book of its own. And in that story, comedy and tragedy intertwine in a complex way. It's harder to find anyone as pure evil, or pure good for that matter. Everyone has their own personal affairs. Enough, Lobocorp has never ported out a PC. Yeah, I don't think they have any like code that would be like PC specific, but I could see that the UI would be a nightmare on anything smaller than a 1080p screen. Even trying to play in the game in 720p was kind of difficult with how small the text was. So that might be the issue more so. Limbus is PC and mobile, yeah. So I'm wondering if it's really okay to blindly hate someone. Fixers from the Streetlight office were like a happy family, but we killed them just to get their books. I understand that it was their choice to come here. We have our own goal to achieve, but still. It feels like I'm just making excuses for myself. And a lot of complaints from mobile players having their games crash. Yeah, that might be more of a Project Moon optimization code optimization problem, though. More so than the game engine. They're not the most efficient with how they write their code. The fact that I got like a really high-end gaming rig and it was like lagging down to like 13 FPS towards the end of the game was pretty crazy. See, Hod, taking everyone's personal affairs into consideration is only going to end up giving you a headache. Sometimes be just as confused as if you hadn't thought of it at all. Thinking about moral standards and fundamental causes and all that only makes everything blurry. All the while, your heart is about to burst from the emotional baggage that won't go away. Times like that, you just go straight to where your heart leads. No need to learn or know any further. It's much easier this way. That's your advice as a seasoned fixer, Roland? I guess so. Here's a favorite phrase of mine. That's that, and this is this. We don't live in a world that can embrace everyone's private matters. Sounds like you've come to terms with reality. Did ages ago. Surely it was an easy and comfy way to live, all things considered. Just go with the flow, wherever it may lead. I refuse to believe this is one of his favorite phrases. It's not like he uses it all the time or anything. Thanks for the advice. I might need to think about this topic a little more. But But the phrase you mentioned might give you comfort for a short while, but it doesn't sound like a motto that will redeem your life. You never use it, and it's totally not in Achievement's name. Totally not. Well, I suppose people have their own ways of interpreting things. I'll leave the books here. See you later, then. There we go. Are we on time? We're over 2 hours. But I can go for 3 hours today, so that should be fine. Varian's face constantly shifts. Dice gain different amounts of power depending on the current face. Minimum -2, +2. Anger is fierce. Interesting. See that? Look at the Day is probably one of the best out of pages of the game. Yeah, I can see that. I mean, it's just... as long as you're willing to put up with having to time everything, that's just a +2 on everything. Yeah, but then I gotta time everything. Alright, cool. That must be Hod's gimmick then. Lock dice gain 1-2 power, deal +2 to 7 stagger damage on a deflect. Oh boy. Social distancing. And shyness. When using a page, all block dice on that page gain power equal to the number of defensive dice on said page. So Shylock really likes blocking things. Makes sense. We're now an urban legend. And savor the magnificent fragrance of the sacrifice, which fills my room. Tell me, who do you think will be the one to get through all this mist and claim the collapsed nest in the end? It's hard for me to predict the outcome of this event, Underboss. It has been a while since we were involved in a bloodshed of this scale. However, it is certain that we should not allow the Index to take over the yoke. Well said. The middle, the ring, and the pinky seem to be too occupied with their own business to take part in this strife, so that's a relief. Have you heard of the Library, a recently appointed urban legend? Perhaps it will be closely related to this nest we're so concerned with. Go on. So you're about to ride a real big wave. What wave? At this rate, the library will soon be exalted to being an urban legend from its status as an urban myth. The city is brimming with cheap urban myths. It's really hard to tell which are real and which are all made up. What's more, a lot of those urban myths turn out to be pretty plain and boring when you get down to the root of it all. The real fun begins when an urban myth gets recognized as an urban legend. Being too roundabout. The associations designate us with a higher grade. You can expect to attract guests of higher classes with more valuable information. Is that what you're trying to say? You got it. Urban legends get talked about. People begin to acknowledge us as an actual phenomenon in the city. It's worth their attention. I can't breathe out my nose today, at all. Excuse me, give me a sec. Ugh. Breathing is overrated. I don't know, I kind of like breathing. It's definitely better than the alternative. Ugh. Must be allergic to something. Excuse me. Sorry about that. You see, when I was a kid, my grandma used to tell me tales about all sorts of urban legends. They'd always send a chill down my spine. Ah, bugger. Didn't want to be reminded of the old days. Family? Yeah, family. I lost them all, though. You're without a family now? No one's with me anymore. I was raised by my grandma. Didn't know how my parents passed away, and grandma disappeared without notice one day. And then... never mind, it's nothing special. What were you even trying to say? Anyways, you said your goal is to get this one book that'll give you freedom, right? That's right. I want the freedom to leave this place, and the freedom to live as myself. And the freedom to forget. Then is freedom the only reason you're trying to gather all these books? You're only half right. During my time living underground, I could only pick up fragmented information about the outside world. I've seen and heard the same stories over and over and over again. I want to hear new stories now. I want to see new faces. It's also why I'm looking for the book that contains everything about the world. And a little bit of revenge at the same time. Revenge, huh? For what? Taking revenge on the abominable person and world that made me into what I am. Only after I've completely and thoroughly destroyed everything he dreamed for will my freedom finally be whole. So you'll eventually get to the freedom and vengeance you want if we keep following where this red invitation leads us to. It will guide me to the book that will let me achieve such things, to be exact. How exactly those wishes will come true is beyond me. The one book that will complete me in the library. If I can find that one absolute book containing everything I want to know, all will be resolved. Wait, hold on. That's your whole plan? Just find the book? You don't exactly know how to earn that freedom and stuff? The only thing I know for sure is that I myself will become whole at the end of the journey led by the invitation. The library is infinite space. I could extract infinite books from countless guests and store them all if I wanted to. But simply collecting books that are mostly filled with junk without a clear purpose in mind is rather inefficient, don't you think? Hence the invitation's guidance along the path that leads to the book I wish to obtain, as I explained before. Let's say that you got the book, that one book somehow. You don't even know what it'll exactly do to you to make you whole. I don't care what happens to me. I'll be satisfied with anything as long as I can get the results. It's almost scary how tenacious you are. Netzach, Librarian of the Arts. Is lying flat on the floor, huh? He's chilling. Zach casts a glimpse at Roland while still lying on the floor before turning back again. Books all over the floor, too, sensing zero motivation to work. These books do not look organized. All the little dudes that hang around. Yeah, they're cute. Hello, Mr. Netzach, patron librarian. This is off on Keflin now. Probably going through withdrawals. Keep refusing to cooperate. Angel's gonna raise hell with me. Please wake up. You know how it feels to give everything you've got to make something, only to see it completely break? I tried so hard building a sandcastle, and I got swept away by the waves. And I bet it was Angela who made those waves. I was woken up once again, called on to take charge of the work I don't want yet again. Leave me alone for a bit. I want to go back to sleep. Boy oh boy, how could every one of you hate Angela so much? Please help me out, will ya? We're in the same boat, you know? He barely sits up. You're pitiable, man. How'd you end up in a place like this? I like his long hair there. Fun art hairstyle. I know, right? I think I'm in a pretty miserable spot too. So can you please spare some of that sympathy for us working hard together? Probably know already, but I'm Netzach, librarian on the artsy floor. A proper introduction from me as well. I'm Roland, Angela's servant and library worker. Gotta wonder, how am I always left with the kind of work that doesn't suit me at all? You tell me. I never thought I'd work in a library of all places either. Little guy sitting on the ladder. Anyway, you're gonna be sorting books related to the arts from the bunch I bring, right? Apparently. Can you go back now, since we're done exchanging names and all? Lies back down on the floor again. Look, you can lie down all you want, but you're gonna do your work, right? It's not like I have a choice in that matter. I'm counting on you. Please make sure to work, alright? She's rolling away. Me IRL. Ow. Well, I've reached the requirements for that one. It looks like we gotta progress Malkuth to unlock the other ones. That would make sense. Wait, a reception using only pages whose costs are odd numbers. So no 2-pointers. Okay. After 3 librarians have reached emotion level 2. Well, we haven't unlocked 3 librarians yet. Heart of Aspiration. We need also no zeros. Oh, that makes sense, yeah. No zeros, no 2s. We could definitely make a build for that. And it's just any reception, so we could easily do easy to do against the rats. Yeah, we could just go do a early game invitation again. That'd be easy enough. Let's talk about a bunch of one-pointers. Alright, well we haven't touched roll in a while, so we should upgrade their decks and keep pages. %, chance to boost slash damage by 1. That's pretty good. 50% chance to boost pierce damage by 1. There's a chance to inflict 1 burn on a successful attack. That one just sounds crazy. And then slash damage boost is pretty good, I would say. Normal fatal weak, normal fatal weak, normal. So page 3 is slightly better. I know it's got lower health, but it's got slightly better resistances. Go page 1. Still under the right skin? Probably not. There we go, general works. That's the right one. Bomba looks so chill. Do you have anything to upgrade there? No. Cool. Alright, you got your key page. Whoops, yep. Has a base appearance. No, it looked weird. Yep. Well, there we go. Fixed it. So you like burn. Yeah, okay. Set fire is really good. What else you got that burns? I suppose that's probably in the filter, isn't it? Burn! Just those 2 cards, okay. Cool. Good to know. They'll just do a lot of burn damage. How about? And then we can get some 3 cards. Probably some really high damage ones. Like that one. For now. 5/7. That one's really good. Okay, and then some defensive ones. We don't have a lot of defensive options. That one's okay. We can do better. Take one of those. We can grab another 3-pointer probably. Maybe a gimmicky one. That works. And then a 0-pointer. Recovering a little bit of HP is good. Restoring light, exchange for paralysis. That's a decent one. Alright, and then Bong Bong. So you boost Pierce, so we want to use as many Pierce skills as possible. That's a multi-Pierce attack. 2226. 1625. 5/6 Pierce. That's great. Six, 3, 4, One's a gamble. Like that one. We don't have any 3-pointers. Sure. Lots of bleeding. Again, some ones with defensive options. Got a lot of 2-pointers. We can grab a few more 1-pointers and 0-pointers. Four, 5, 2, 6. Sure. Let's see how that works. Alright. Alright. Lung of Craving, Heart of Aspiration, Lung of Craving. Aspiration, lose 4 HP if the character does not deal any damage for a scene. Ah. So that's why we want to be defensive. Heart of Aspiration doesn't have any particular gimmicks, but it's weak to everything. And can't be staggered. This is a tool I have known in Lobocorp. Doesn't look like a tool now, does it? Okay, so basically they can't be staggered. So we just gotta do a lot of HP damage. And if we block their attacks, they do a lot of weak attacks, but if we block them all, they take damage that way. Interesting. And the heart's just gonna defend. Okay. So evasion cards would be really good here, because those can last for multiple dice rolls. Okay. Let's steal your attack. And then... maybe into bleeding. I guess we won't know. Yeah, let's just inflict bleeding. Block that, beat that clash. Do 1 point of damage. Okay. Took a little bit of damage from that. No, that one is going to do a defense and then an attack. 3, 4. 3, 5. I could potentially beat that block. Wouldn't do a whole lot of damage, but it'd be something. You have normal resistance to damage. You're weak to everything. Okay. We don't have any cards that have 3 dice. So no matter what, we're taking a hit from that enemy. This one we could eventually do something about. 3, 4 defense, then a 1, 4 attack. Go on his rampage with 3 dice, that's true. 2, 4, 3, 5, 3, 5. Oh yeah, look at that. Should be able to beat that, no problem. And then we can clash with this one on defense. Potentially. Or since it's all defense cards, we can just ignore it. And just attack this thing. clash effect doesn't matter because we're not going to be able to clash. You do that just to inflict some bleed. Yeah, sure. Yep, boom, boom. Okay. Tail hands. 3 successful attacks, same target. 3 to 10 bonus stagger damage. I don't think that works here because they resist. They can't be staggered, or resist stagger, or whatever. 2 to 5 less damage from slash attacks. They reduce the damage attack to 0 towards the chance. Sure. That's safeguard Roland. Okay, we're almost taking out this lung. Let's see, 3-4 defense. Now let's do the multi-attack. Ah, here we go. You got a high evasion, and then a 3-3. Let's do that. And you're doing all defenses again, so I can once again just ignore you. Attack you. 3-4 defense, then a 1-4 attack. This should essentially counter that. Nice. 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 Okay. So now you're doing the multi-attack, you're doing the parry. You're making an attack, okay. The Beats of Aspiration. 4 to 6 slashing damage. Can I do anything about that? I can try to dodge it, or I can have roll and intercept it. It is slashing damage. I do reduce slashing damage, I think. That effect still applies. Four, 6. I don't have any great counters to 4-6 though. And this Seven of Spades is really fun because it basically overboosts someone, but after like 3 turns they just die. Nice. I think do a 5-6. That's pretty good odds. Alright, and then doing a 3-4 and then a 1-4. Sure. Dang it. Dang it. Didn't work out. Nice. Okay. Repelled their attack. There's 1 lung down. Still dies from the burn, yep. 3 successful attacks on the same target deal 3 to 10 bonus stagger damage, yeah. We'll grab that. I don't think it's useful though. Okay. You're doing the defense again, so we can just ignore you, take out the other lung. Everything to deal with the multi-attack? Not really. Okay, we got a 3-die attack. We'll do that. We'll redirect. And then... okay, just do that one to recover HP. I forgot you're faster. Whoops. Forgot that I stole that. Okay. Now you're doing the triple attack. Counter that. Then we burn you. Yeah. We're gonna beat that defense. Nice. Just the hard left. 4-6. Go to 4-5 defense. 3-5 fire. Dang it. Still counterattacked. Big fire damage. Nice. Victory. That worked. Hey, Angela. I called them all. Malkuth, Yasad, Nedzak, and Had. It's been a while since I saw you all gathered up in one place. Angela, what are you trying to accomplish with this? Nothing special. Just only wanted to have a meeting with all of you. Alright, let's loosen up a bit, everyone. Got nothing to talk about with the likes of you. Wait, I do. I have a problem with the process of retrieving the light. You don't want to kill the guests with your own hands, do you? You don't want to suffer yourselves either. He's right. You know, the guests chose to come in here. We shouldn't drive people to death as part of our work again. It's not right. You are with killing hundreds upon hundreds of employees, but now you're upset about killing a few strangers? Hypocrites. Don't let me with you lot, will you? I at least seek agreement from them. Got anything left to say, Nedzak? Thought that would be the last of it. Not any more of this. You don't have a choice, Nedzak. Nothing we say will get through her anyway. Still so cold and heartless, Angela. Don't be so emotional now. I know you all realize deep inside your hearts that this is the only way. If you didn't want to do this, you shouldn't have tried to stop me in the first place. Leave, all of you. Yeah, so we now have a third employee. Alright. Gain 1 to 2 strength at the end of each scene. At the end of each scene, if the librarian did not deal any damage with defensive dice, they lose 25% of their max HP. Okay, so you... That's all allies. Okay. So just everyone has to keep doing damage every turn. You can't skip any turns. Increase max HP by 15%. Gain 1 to 2 speed. That one's pretty good. Just straight buff. Selected librarian dies at the end of the third scene after which this page was chosen. Gain 4 strength, endurance, haste, and protection each scene until death. All stagger damage resistance is changed to ineffective. Nice. So you just become super powered for 3 turns, then you die. That might be good to pop as you're like near the end of combat. Just to get it over with faster. Alright, these dogs keep barking. I'm gonna go let them out real quick. What time is it? 2:40 on the stream. The boss making you struggle, it also helps. That makes sense. Let's just spend a few more minutes gearing up our new person, I think, and then we'll call it there. We can go deal with the dogs. Then I got D&D in half an hour anyway. Alright, I don't think I have any new books, right? No, not yet. This is what we got. Okay, Evangeline. I think that's just straight up better. Get more HP on everything. There we go, we're gonna have two Lulu's friends together. Longbong and Evangeline. Alright, and once again we also want to prioritize piercing then. Fine. 6. 3, 1, 6. 0. 1, 4, 1, 4. No. Not the 1, 4, 1, 4. Let's do better than that. 3, 6. 2, 6. Sounds pretty good. Oh, that's another 2. I need 2 of those. 2, 3, 2, 3. Flash win, 1 light. That's a good one. There you go. That'll work. Alright, so there's all that. So now we can do that other challenge. Unlock all metal floors, can't do that yet. Urban Plague, Urban Nightmare, / Destroy Progression, obviously. Those are the only pages that are odd numbers. We can probably do that one real quick, actually. Let's see. Just go back and do, like, the earliest one. So no 0s or 2s. Okay. Perfect. Yeah, we just win this against anyone. Or rats, yep. And I did. Okay, yeah, 1, 3. Can't use it too. Let's cancel that one then, and let's just use one of the 3s. There we go. Staggered. Dead. Staggered. Dead. One remaining. Let's do the simple one for now. Take him out. Oh, wait. 3, 3. Okay, yeah, that's fine. Done. Victory! Did that count? Hope so. Yes, okay, that counted. Perfect. Reenact after 3 librarians to reach emotion level 2, so that's also something we can do, but that's probably got, by necessity, need to be a harder fight, pretty much. Unless we just keep passing every turn. Not getting emotion level 2 on rats, yeah, exactly. So we'll just get that one probably by using using our new character, or not our new characters, using roll and squat on things. Which really makes sense while we have the numeric advantage anyway. Okay. Yeah, it's a few minutes early, but I think we'll just call it there for today. I can burn those books actually real quick, now that we really need them. Dogs are getting really loud, and I'm worried that they're about to do something dumb. I got all the cards that we've gotten before, but now we got some duplicates. Alrighty. That to be good. What is next weekend? Next weekend... birthday, technically. Well, day after my birthday. I don't think I made any plans Saturday. So that should be a normal stream day. Although with Nono streaming during the day, I'll probably be streaming a few hours after Nono, as it has been for the past few weekends. So that'll be a short late night one with more Luigi's Mansion. And then that'll leave... I don't have D&D next Sunday, so we'll be able to go longer next Sunday if I feel I'm in the mood for it. So yeah, look forward to that then. Thanks for being here as always, Yahazu and Carrick. Appreciate you guys for stopping by. Alright, going offline raid. Yeah, I don't feel like dealing with people right now. I gotta go. You know what? We can raid Carrick. I always forget that's an option. Is it Carrick the Big? Yep. There we go. Offline raid to Carrick. Thank you all for being here. Have a good rest of your evenings. Have a good week. I won't be streaming for the rest of the week. I'll see y'all next time. Have a good one.